It's a full-on war at the moment, and we're losing rhinos every day.
Effectively, they're being hunted to extinction for nothing.
My name is Megan Latikon, and I am the manager at the Zululand Rhino Orphanage. It's terrible that we actually have to have orphanages, because there's an orphanage, there's a problem. But I think that we're doing incredible work, because if we weren't here and if we weren't able to look after the little ones that we left behind, it would just be that many more rhino that we're losing on a daily basis. We can take in these little calves and care for them and look after them and get them to a point where we can return them back into the wild and back into a wild population.
It's obviously amazing working with orphans, and everyone sort of sees the beautiful picture of working with baby animals. But there's so much work that gets put into every little aspect on a daily basis. Feeding time, the milk time is always very intimate when you get to spend that amount of time face to face with the orphans. We start with a quick feed, filling troughs of lucerne, horse pellets, teff. While the animals are busy eating, we start cleaning the enclosures. So this involves obviously cleaning up after the animals, picking up the dung, making sure that the water's clean. We sanitize and spray down all the food troughs every day, make sure that there's enough sand in their sleeping areas. So it's quite a lot of work. It's very intense, very labor intensive, and a good workout to say the least.
That a rhino cow had been poached in a reserve north of us, and she had left behind a 4.5-month-old calf. The calf had been on its own for 6 days in the bush, and if they were able to capture it, then we would likely have an orphan arriving at the orphanage in the next couple of hours. We didn't have space for a young orphan of this size, but the team immediately sprang to action, making a makeshift pen for him and sorting out a trailer that he could live in. When Ntoto arrived, he was not in a very good state. He was extremely dehydrated and traumatized from his ordeal, and the team worked tirelessly around the clock, giving him 24/7 care, making sure that they were there if he cried for food, and if he woke up with a nightmare, they were there to console him. It took him a couple of days to get onto the bottle, but once he was feeding, his energy improved 100%, and he's now an extremely energetic little rhino, and he keeps us all entertained with his antics in his boma.
We are a non-profit organisation and therefore fully rely on funding and sponsorships from donors. If this is something you would be interested in, please do not hesitate.
Any amount, small or large, will ensure that we can take this orphanage into the future.